Alright, konnichiwa. Hello, one and all. Kanzo Taku is here with you for a special unboxing video. Uh, Sent in a submission to CGC Video Games at the end of June. Just got it in the mail today. Kind of got a little peek of the grades, but doing a big reveal for most of them now. Um, got not one, not two, but we got a whole baker's dozen. Yep, that's 13 video games I sent in to get submitted for this. And yeah, definitely not cheap, but with some of the games I got in here, hopefully that's going to be more than enough to cover the expenses because, yeah, that hurt my wallet. But we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. The first two that I sent in were complete in box games, um, ones that I've had for a while that I don't know if I'll play again, but I definitely want to preserve, and I think they're decent ones. The first one we got here is Mega Man X, and oh, okay, so I did not realize this. So yes, it's from the Super Nintendo, 1997. This was a Majesco release assembled in Mexico, and it has an upside down SNS code. And as you can see, the box is not exactly awesome. It was 7.0. Cartridge was mint 9.6, and manual was 9.0. If you can see, they might have did a little bit of cleaning up for me. I cannot tell for sure. There was a couple of spots on the top that I know for sure that were definitely not great looking, and I tried to clean them up myself. I kind of like this one here. I just kind of made it a little worse, so just ignore that. But that's pretty awesome that they put in all that information for me. This is one that I bought, I don't know how long ago, uh, on eBay, and just one I kept when I sold a bunch of my other games. Like this is the only Super Nintendo game maybe that I kept that's still complete in box. Just because I have fond memories playing this game. It's super awesome. Uh, yeah, the box I knew was not going to be a good grade, but for an 8 overall, that's honestly better than what I thought it was going to be. So I'll take it. Next up, second complete in box, and this one's a little bit more special because I know it is going up in price, or has been up in price for a long time, and that is Tail Concerto on the PlayStation from 1999. It's Black Label, E rating pixelated, and it got an 8.5 overall. Disc was mint, manual was okay, and the box was 8.5. I do know there's just a tiny, tiny little crack in the case right there, but other than that, it was very good. Bought this one off of eBay. I cannot remember. I think it was at least 2 to 3 years ago. At that time, I think I won the auction for uh, maybe around $300, and I think an open copy of this right now goes for upwards of 400. So I don't have a PlayStation right now, but this is one that I knew I wanted to get, uh, you know, preserved more or less. So 8.5 is not bad on that. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if the pixelated is a good thing or a bad thing on the ESRB rating, but it's like, again, it's really nice that they point out little things like that. It's like, well, I didn't realize it was a variant. But yeah, being an older Atlas game and being the company behind, um, well, company that made several games that are pretty either rare or expensive. The other one being Solo to Robo on the DS, which I want to get graded at some point. I've got it's another complete in box, but it's the bonus disc or bonus CD soundtrack in it, and CGC does not do that one yet. I haven't checked to see if WADA does, but it's definitely one that I would send in for that, just because uh, love the game, want to preserve it, and it looks really nice like that. All right, so after that, everything else should be sealed games. Um, I think I've got a couple of Sony things, and then the rest is Nintendo. First off, we've got a PS3 game that is 3D Dot Game Heroes. And I just realized that this is not going to work very well for showing the grade. I could tilt it like this, you can kind of see. Uh, some of the other ones are smaller, so that will work out fine, but this one is just awkward. 9.6, and it's an A+, Y folds. It's from 2010, Black Label, manufactured, printed in the USA. I I think this one is one I bought off of eBay, new, probably like, gosh, I can't remember now, 60 or 70 some dollars, maybe. For a while there, this one was really going up in price, and then I think it kind of dipped back down. But I had it for a while. My PS3, as some of you may know, crapped out on me, so I haven't had a chance to either get it fixed or replaced. And since I didn't really think I'd play this one anytime soon, I just went ahead and sent it in to get submitted. And yeah, it's a decent grade. There was one other PS3 game I would have sent in that was a sealed copy of uh, Yakuza. I think it's Yakuza Dead Souls. Basically, the Yakuza game with zombies in it, but there's a tiny tear on the bottom front of the case. So I figured, well, that one's not going to be worth it. So said pass on that one. All right. Next up, I think I've got three Vita games, which I think was one of the newest things that CGC announced that they were doing grading on. And of course, the ones that got sealed are probably something more obscure. There's at least one or two that might be worth more, but we'll see. Uh, but yeah, first one here is Mega Dimension Blank versus Neptune, or Blank plus Neptune versus Zombies, made in 2016, Blue Label, 9.8 A plus, so a pretty high grade on that one. Well, 9.6, 9.8 seem to be, you know, your really good grades. I'm pretty sure there's tens in CGC, but just seem to be, a little more difficult to get than in some of the cards anymore. But yeah, basically I had bought in bits and pieces and made a complete set of the Mega Dimension. I guess that one says Mega Tag Dimension, but the Neptunia games on Vita, both North American and Japanese. Since I'm not really caring too much about collecting like for consoles and systems anymore, well, now that I'm grading, never mind. But anyway, sent in the ones that I still had that were sealed that I never got around to opening yet. Okay, this one I have a feeling most of everything I'll explain it when I get through. This one I'm pretty happy with because I think this is one of the more expensive games. Like that one, I think they made a whole bunch of copies of, and no one really liked it. So this one, I think I paid like maybe 40, $50 on Walmart.com a few years ago. This one, I know I definitely paid more. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sisters, made in 2015, blue only on PlayStation, label 9.8 A++. So as far as that goes, that's probably the very best you could get without getting a 10. And I was gonna say, I know around some point, sealed copies of this were going for $70 plus. I think that's probably what cartridges are going for now, and then sealed copies going for over $100. So to have a high grade on that one, that's very, very good. Pretty happy with that. Um, don't ask why I wanted to collect the Mega Dimension games. Um, they got good stories. That's all I'll say. All right, and the last one for the Vita games, yes. And yes, it is another Nep or Neptunia. Uh, Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Black Heart, 9.88 plus. 2015, blue only on PlayStation label. So another very good grade. Actually, I got 9.8s on all three of those Vita games, and I'm pretty stoked about that. I didn't realize that. The only one that was slightly better was um, the grade on Rebirth 2 was a plus plus. But yeah, all I really did was I just had these sitting on a shelf, just untouched, not messed with, and ended up getting some pretty awesome grades on those. I don't know. Like I said, I think CGC just started doing submissions on uh, Vita games, so it's hard to tell. Um, my guess is that there is going to be a bit of a market for it, just because you know it's an older handheld console. The last, currently the last handheld console by Sony. I don't know if you actually count the new. I don't even know if you could call it a handheld system uh, that Sony's coming out with. It's basically so you could play your PS5 games on a handheld device, but it's not like its own little handheld system. All right, jumping into Switch now, but we are still staying with the theme of the Neptunia games. This one is Super Neptunia RPG, and if I could show it off here, 9.6 A plus, made in 2019, made in Japan, English, French, USA. Yeah, I ended up grabbing a couple of the Neptunia games on the Switch. Uh, at one point, I thought maybe I'd play them, but then another time I was looking, it's like, these could possibly be worth a little bit more if I were to grade them and sell them. All right, and then one more. And that one is Mega Dimension Neptunia 7, made in Japan, and that is a 9.6 A plus plus. So another one with the pristine seal grade. And oh yeah, this one is a limited run. I think it might be the only limited run game I sent in. I've got another one called Carry On that I could have sent. Actually, I got two. I got Carry On and the dual pack of Axiom Verge 1 and 2 that I could have sent in, but those are ones that I'm like, I honestly would probably play those. Um, I have played this game before. I think I played it on the PlayStation 4. I think it came out like on several different things and then re-released, so uh, I don't need to open up another version and play it. I can grade it, and as long as the Switch games keep, for whatever reason, keep being popular, um, getting graded, I can sell it at some point and make some good money on it. All right, next one is going to be a little different because it's a bit rough, but I sent it in intentionally because of it. I'm thinking that maybe with a different grade or because of the imperfection in it that it might do a little better. Of course, in here you can't even see it, so did they fix it? I think they fixed it. Oh, that's a problem. Well, that so much for that. Okay, so it's Digimon Survive, 9.0 A plus plus. So sealed grade was awesome, and as you can see, the actual grade was not great. I don't know if you can actually see it or not from here, uh, and I don't even know how they would have done it because when I first got this game, this was an imperfection because the sleeve for the cover was up. It was like up in here. So that's why I sent it in. So thinking, oh, like an error in uh, on the assembly line, maybe that might be a unique thing. But it looks like they fixed it, which I did not think would be possible without breaking the seal. I guess kudos to CGC for doing that, but now I'm like, okay, well, I just got a bleh graded Digimon Survive, which um, I don't think is really going to be worth it. Uh, oh well. Uh, I initially had that one on pre-order, thinking I was gonna play it, and then I found out that it was gonna be more of like a tactical RPG, and that kind of killed it for me. And then I also heard about the whole like being more of like a visual novel, kind of turned people off. So I was just like, well, since probably was gonna play it, and that was imperfection because that slip was had creases in it because it was up on the ridge of oh I can't even show you on the ridges of the case there. That maybe that would make a unique thing and maybe make it sell better. No, I don't know. I'm, that one's a bit of a surprise for me. I'm not gonna complain. It's like, well, I guess it is what it is. All right. This is a game that I was thinking about playing, but then I thought, well, if I can get a decent grade for it, and I know there's fans of the genre, and I also have the games on the DS already, so this is the Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. It's got a score of 9.6 A++, made in 2020, made in Japan. And yeah, I know it's supposed to be a better version of those games because it has the option to, I think, rewind, like if you screw up, and maybe, I think it maybe has an option for more saves in it. But that's all right. And yeah, this one and Digimon Survive were two of the ones that I was kind of on the fence of sending in to get graded just because I didn't know, one, uh, if it'd get a good grade for this one, and two, if either one would even be worth money as graded. Uh, I thought at one point I saw this one for a few $100. I don't know if that was true or not. And this one, I know I saw grades for ones already, and they were not good. So this one's probably gonna be uh, my dud of the group. All right, that was the first box. Had 10 games in that. Got 3 to go. This one I'm super happy for because again it's another tactical RPG game that I had no intention of playing, but because of the product it was based on, I knew I wanted to get it graded and preserved so I could display it. That is the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. We've got 9.8 A++, so another very high grade. Uh, yeah, made in Japan. Actually, never mind. This was another limited run game. I just need to shut up. But yeah, I've got several Dark Crystal themed items. I've got a couple of the comics that I've got graded that well, I didn't grade myself. I bought off of eBay graded and had showed them in previous videos. And yeah, this is one I bought off of an eBay, and I think it was like $60, $70. And yeah, knew I wasn't gonna play it, but just because of the material, wanted to have it. All right, this is the next one. Well, the other one that I know that could potentially be a very high seller if, well, when I decide to sell it. And that is Doom on the Switch, and Doom 2017 to be more specific. Uh, Made in Japan, and it's got a 107218A, which I'm sure is some type of product code. It's a 9.6A plus. Let me see. 107218A. That is the oh yeah, the number right down there. So I do not honestly know um, the significance of that number. Uh, I know there's supposed to be certain ways you could tell if a certain item is a first production copy or second production. I think it has maybe something to do with the numbers on the bottom here. So this could be a first edition print of Doom. All I know is that they did not do a lot on the physical version of Doom 2017 because for a long time, uh, even like just cartridge only uh, version or yeah, sales of this with just a cartridge only were going for over $50. So, like I said, this could potentially be a gold mine in my hand right now. Uh, Possibly the same with that 3D Dot Game Heroes. Possibly the same with those Neptunia games on the Vita. It's hard to tell. Once I upload this, if anyone wants to inform me in the comments, they are more than welcome to do so. Just say, "Hey, you idiot! Make sure to be careful with that. That's at least $1,000." And last but not least, the most recent game to come out that I set in to get graded, and that is the Switch version of AEW Fight Forever. And we got a 9.6A plus, and like I said, it came out. Actually, this one was just released on June 29th, and the day that I got it was the same day I put in the submission for these games to be graded, which was the 30th. So if you don't include the holiday weekend with, or the 4-day weekend or whatever with 4th of July, you know, not a bad turnaround time for the games. Um, Seems like they've been doing really good with getting them in. I was expecting with those complete copies that I had that it was going to take a little bit longer because it takes a little bit more time to do the complete in box games than it would just to look at something that's completely sealed. But yeah, CGC's really knocking it out of the park with their graded games, and I'm super happy about that. Uh, none of these games that I got today, I'm disappointed about the score. Maybe the Digimon Survive, just because I thought that. I honestly think that one would have looked better if it stayed as the imperfection, and it could have been more visible that way. But it's a case where it's like someone looking at it from the naked eye might just take a look at it and be like, why in the heck did it get such a low grade compared to everything else? That just seems odd. But then you can tell them a little bit about how the very top there was pushed up onto the ridge, so it's got a big crease in there, which you can kind of see in the light there. A slight tear on the upper corner. Uh, yeah, you can kind of see that. There's a little white bump there. But yeah, um, that might be the only one out of all these, which, for what I sent in, not bad at all. Now, for the big question of what am I going to do with these, more than likely, most of them are going to go for sale on eBay. Fight Forever will. Doom will. The Mega Man Zero X will. The Dark Crystal, nope, that's mine. Digimon Survive will, and that one I'm definitely expecting not a good sell on that. These Neptunia RPG and Neptunia 7 will be graded or be listed on eBay. Move those out of the way. Now comes the interesting part. I I was planning on keeping this one because, well, which might be a mistake because like I said, this might be the most expensive of them. The Noir and the Blanc versus Zombies. Yes, I do plan on selling. And the 3D Dot Game Heroes. Yes, I will also plan on selling that one. I can't remember what the company or the grade it was, but I do remember seeing one of these on eBay. Of course, I think that the person was asking for a set price of $1,000. Uh, Honestly, if I could get $500 or more on this, I would be blown away. Um, I have not decided yet when they will be listed or how much they will be listed for, or if it's going to be best price or base price or best offer, or if I'm going to go for a an auction, which seems like it'd be the better choice. But these two here, like I said, they are the complete in box ones. I don't think I've seen one of these listed. I have seen a complete in box Mega Man X, which I'm pretty sure had much better grades than this, and it was also over $1,000. But because I've held on to these ones for so long, and first time I've sent something in for complete in box to be graded, I don't plan on selling those. But uh, anyone who is interested or would even like to send out an offer, you could be sure to leave a comment below. I plan on putting in the link to my eBay channel once I have this video uploaded. So the games won't be on there yet, but if you send me a comment on the video here saying, hey, I was really interested in, say, the 3D Dot Game Heroes, any chance you could put that one up for sale? And I would see about doing that for you. But yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. I really hope you enjoyed. Hope you stayed around for the whole thing to see what grades I got on everything. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with most of everything. Um, there's a couple of risks I took with some of those, which as a surprise, but uh, overall, I'm pretty happy. What I'm going to be keeping, I'm glad to have. What I plan on selling, I think should get me enough to make up for how much I spent on the grading. Don't plan on doing any other game gradings anytime soon. Well, until they do the special boxes of, like, Tail Concerto. No. Solo to Robo with the soundtrack in a bigger box. If they start doing those, or if I find out that WADA does it, I might check that out. Just because it's another game that I want to get preserved, that I've had personally for a long time, and I don't know. To me, having these boxes, or like these nice encapsulated cases, they just look very nice, and I'm glad I did this. Besides my wallet hurting, I have no regrets with it. I do hope this was a little informative for you guys. See if maybe you want to grade something on your own, or if you're interested in any of these, be sure to let me know, and I can get it listed on eBay, and you could possibly have one of these in your own collection. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me for today. Really do hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you later, and take care.